It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Friday, January 20th. I'm James Spann. A complex weather situation for the weekend, a chance of severe storms along the way, but it's not going to rain all weekend long. There should be some fairly decent breaks in the action. So let's dive in there and talk about things. This is the water vapor satellite view this afternoon. You can see troughing developing west of the state that will gradually evolve into an upper low over Louisiana by early Sunday morning. Broken clouds across the state. That's the visible satellite view. The sun out in many spots with temperatures in the low 70s in a few locations. Tuscaloosa 72, 71 for Birmingham, Gadsden 73. But the weather does turn colder next week. In fact, the end of this month is looking pretty cold out in about 10 days. But around the nation, no true Arctic air for now. On the watch warning map, winter storm warnings down into the southwest states, the mountains of Arizona, New Mexico. Also winter storm warnings for parts of California, the Sierra Nevadas there. But of course, the convection, that's the main concern. This is the new day one convective outlook for the rest of today and tonight. A risk of severe weather stretching from the Texas coastal plain up into Alabama. In our state, we have the standard slight risk of severe storms from Tuscaloosa, Greenville, down to Mobile, Gulf Shores. And this is for well after midnight. This is for a batch of storms that comes through very early in the morning. Now, during the day tomorrow and tomorrow night into early Sunday, this is day two. So keep in mind this runs between 6 a.m. tomorrow and 6 a.m. Sunday. So this covers really what could be multiple rounds. We've got an enhanced risk for parts of West Alabama, another enhanced risk for parts of Southeast Alabama. And the rest of the state in the standard slight risk. And again, we'll give you specifics and thoughts on this in just a moment. And then on day three, which is Sunday, this is for after 6 a.m. Sunday, the standard slight risk for Southeast Alabama, a marginal risk up to Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden. So clearly the weather's going to be unsettled over the weekend. The question is timing and placement of the storms, and that's the object of this video here. And rain, for sure, we'll see some pretty decent rain amounts. We're expecting 1 to 3 inches for the most part statewide between now and Monday of next week. So here we go. This is the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at noon, Saturday at noon. Troughing to the west, we go to Sunday, and you can see that upper low closes off around the Mississippi Delta, Greenville, Greenwood. And those can be very problematic. Thankfully, we have no cold air at the surface here, so no snow worries. Oftentimes, those cold cores can produce some unexpected snow, but that's not going to happen. But certainly, in the warm sector east of that thing, there could be some strong to severe storms. So the one thing I think is clear, it's the fact that we're going to have some action early tomorrow morning. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. And it sure looks like the better combination of shear and instability will be over the southern half of the state, especially from, say, Greensboro, Brent, Clanton, Roanoke, south. And then at 8 o'clock, you can see that band of storms sweeping onto the east, generally south of Interstate 20. This is the low-level jet tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. This is about 5,000 feet off the ground, and you can see you got winds of 50 knots with the jet over southwest Alabama, the bullseye at that point around Choctaw, Marengo counties. But over north Alabama, the winds are very light. The low-level jet just doesn't exist. And I think that's a pretty good sign that the threat could be confined to the southern half of the state, if indeed this verifies. And accordingly, the STP, the significant tornado parameter, is peaking in that same zone early tomorrow morning. Sweetwater, Thomasville, Grove Hill, down in southwest Alabama. So it sure looks like with that first round of severe storms, the main window about 3 a.m. until 9 a.m., the core threat over the southern half of the state, all modes of severe weather possible, large hail, damaging winds, and possibly a few tornadoes. Now, the next question is, what happens Saturday afternoon? This is Saturday at noon. Storms are over southeast Alabama, but notice the northern half of the state is quiet, and this is 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and it's very quiet. The latest high-resolution guidance coming in with a very quiet pattern Saturday afternoon and early Saturday night. There could be a lull where nothing happens and the weather won't be bad at all. This is where there was a window for round two And in an unstable air with shear, there could be a few isolated storms, but based on modeling, it sure looks like it could stay quiet. So the idea of round 2 is very iffy, and it might be taken off the table here. Also, there could be a little capping inversion. We'll go to midnight Saturday night, 12 a.m. Sunday, still quiet. And then notice what happens after midnight Saturday night. This is 3 a.m. Sunday. Storms begin to form over a pretty good chunk of the state, maybe some strong storms across the northern part of Alabama. We'll go to Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, and again, evidence of storms over the northern part of the state. But the one thing that's kind of missing early Sunday morning, it's that the fact that this is the forecast sounding, and the winds are really out of the west at 5,000 feet, and there's no veering of the wind with altitude, and this is just a sounding suggesting a marginal severe weather threat. This would not be a tornado threat. So it looks like this is the round that will be early Sunday morning, could bring some storms with hail and gusty winds. The tornado threat for now looks pretty low. This is the STP, the significant tornado parameter, Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. And again, the numbers are typically 1 unit or less. But the one thing to consider, there's a lot of dynamic forcing going on here, and this all could change. But again, for now, it looks like that event early Sunday morning is kind of marginal in terms of the severe weather threat, because the low-level jet is peeled way off to the east of here. And we'll take that. This is the synoptic pattern Sunday. A deep surface low is over eastern Arkansas. And rain and storms could very well continue into the day Sunday. But again, the severe weather threat shifts on to the east with the low-level jets. So the bottom line is, for the moment, it looks like we'll really have 2 rounds of storms. One early Saturday morning, one early Sunday morning. The greatest chance of a tornado will be the Saturday morning event. I think that's going to be the highlight, the most significant threat, and that will be mainly over central and south Alabama, the southern half of the state. Sunday morning, all of Alabama could see some strong storms. The main threats there, hail and gusty winds, based on the idea of the jet being displaced off to the east. But again, this is complex and this could change, so remember, don't work with old information. Just keep watching the blog and we'll keep things updated. So we go to Monday, breezy, colder, highs dropping in the low and mid-50s, some lingering light rain, kind of a raw, windy, cool day. Tuesday, mostly sunny. The high will be around 60. Wednesday, clouds increasing. Maybe some rain moving in here by Wednesday night. And then Thursday, the rain moves on to the east. So looks like a chance of rain Wednesday night, Thursday morning, turning noticeably colder. A good north wind on Thursday. We could stay in the 40s all day. And this is a week from today, Friday the 27th, troughing over the east. Pretty chilly air mass. Temperatures below average. Highs would drop in the 40s. This is the end of the forecast period. This is Monday the 30th, and that's a very deep trough over the east, and that is a very cold air mass, a 1049 high over Montana. You can see cold air floods much of the continental United States. So winter fans, cold air is coming back. This is coming off the European ensemble, and it's got highs dropping in the 40s and lows in the 20s out there toward the end of this month. Don't be shocked if we have a day or two that will be considerably colder than that. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. My next video will be here Monday morning at 7 o'clock. Brian Peters, the man that looks like Colonel Sanders, will have the updates here tomorrow and Sunday. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or on television, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.